Right, I'm going to do something a little bit wild with the starting 11, and you are probably going to disagree with me, but football's all about opinions, so we'll argue about that when we get into it. Who are we playing, Steve? Playing Liverpool, lads. Oh, it's not going to be good, is it? The top of the league, and they are flying. Even with the contract situation, which I'm hoping implodes on them at some point. They got Trent, they got Salah, they got Van Dijk, all and ahhing about whether or not to sign a new contract. Could be a distraction. Doesn't look like it is at the moment. Bastards. Every single Liverpool player looks like they're stepping up and playing some scary attacking football. Complete opposite United, where it's an absolute car crash, innit? It's a car crash in a bin fire, is what United are at the moment. And that's about as well as I could have it. We are heading towards a relegation battle, and I don't really see a way that United win this game. Maybe if we played the system that I'd like to play, but I don't think we're going to play that. Are you saying that you're better than Ruben Amorim? No, but I'd like to see a change of system. And there's a couple of key things in the system. Not change the system. It's the same system. It's different personnel. But I'll get into that in a wee minute. We have lost 5 of our last 6, beating only who? Manchester City in hilarious form. Okay. Liverpool have made it 4 wins on the bounce. They are looking like they're going to maintain a commanding lead at the top of the Premier League table. They absolutely battered West Ham last week. And if you was a smart man, you would be saying that's going to happen again this week. Now, Slot often uses what looks like a 4-2-4 formation, especially during build-up. They look to try and invite pressure, then try and exploit the space that gets left in behind. That does allow for quite a structured approach, where the double pivot in midfield, one tends to be a little bit deeper than the other. Look to try and facilitate some sort of quick combination before trying to play the ball through the press. He does like a strategy where the fullbacks do play a significant role. That's not really too much of a change from what we saw under Klopp, both in attack and defence. For Trent, for example, he often inverts into midfield. That creates a bit of a lopsided formation, which is it confuses, or it seems to confuse opposition, but it's really common across Premier League football at the moment. That does allow them to help build it out from the back. It seems to do so with minimal risk. They offer various angles and lanes to pass through. Slot has inverted him less, which has led to him kind of changing his output and creativity a little bit. Midfield duo has been very key to Slot's system. One midfielder has dropped deeper to connect to the defence. It's Gravenberch and McAllister that have been perfect in their roles in this setup a little bit, annoyingly. That's given both defensive solidity and a little bit of a creative passing option. Under Slot, they seem to find and exploit spaces by having Salah, who's in blistering form, bastard at the minute, and Luis Diaz cut inside. That means you've got both of them leveraging their stronger foot, whether it's for crosses or for shots. And then obviously they use the width provided by fullbacks to stretch the defence right across the back line and look for those wingers to kind of play in the half space just a little bit. A tactic that often sees them using underlapping runs and dragging defenders out of position is creating space for the wingers to operate, and that's been pretty effective with Salah. A fullback or a midfielder often tries to make a run in between or in behind the winger and just pulls defenders out of the way, making a little bit of space for him. That off-the-ball movement is the sort of one thing that if you looked at what's going on at United and said, what are we not doing? It's that runs ahead of and around players to create space for others. Slot does retain the sort of high-pressing legacy of Jurgen Klopp, but he's added some tactical tweaks and nuances to it. Football's evolved this year, in particular this year, with the way people press teams that are playing out. And there's been some adaptations with what Slot's done. They're still going to try and win the ball back nice and high up the pitch. They're going to try and get quick transitions by winning the ball nice and high up the pitch, but it's also seen them score loads of goals from them turnovers, like a lot of teams, but Liverpool more than most have probably benefited from that. Out of possession, they've adopted a shape that sort of emphasises that compactness. They focus on blocking the central areas. These aren't unique to Liverpool. These are quite truthful football statements. This is what a lot of teams try and do. They try and maintain a mid or low block where necessary. They try and deny space through the centre of the pitch. They look to try and restrict movement and passing lanes and force the opposition into areas that are less optimal, such as the wider areas. Slot's not done anything that we've never seen before here with that. It's exactly the same as everybody else. It's a tactical setup that signifies nuanced sort of evolution rather than a complete overhaul of what Klopp was doing, which is why he's taken to them and the league and the players have taken to the system really, really well, because he's kind of just come in and let them carry on doing it and then just titivated little bits of things. Star man for Liverpool is Mo Salah, and you're an absolute hipster if you're trying to think it's anybody else. He's got 17 goals and 13 assists in 18 league games. I will say that again because you didn't pay attention the first time. 17 fucking goals and 13 assists in 18 league games. That's 30 in case you're trying to take one of your shoes off. Fuck's sake. He's a nightmare. And if you stop him scoring, he's going to get an assist. Mo Salah's been the architect of some absolute shaggings of Manchester United in recent years. Some proper embarrassments. The way he cut across Maguire for that 5-0 at home under Ollie was just one of the most masterful one-sided performances I've seen. And I do not want to see that again this week at all. I just don't. Starting 11 for United. So what am I doing different? Right, well, I'm bringing Mazraoui into one of the pivots in midfield. Oh. Why are you doing that? Because United score more goals when Ahmad is the right wing back. And I want to get more players into this team. In different areas of the pitch, by the way. Right, what we're doing. Yoro, De Ligt, Martinez. That's our best three. They are our best three defenders. Martinez is not in great form. Still one of our best defenders. We saw Maguire getting turned and spun around a little bit against Newcastle, playing in that high line, as part of a free. It will be worse at Anfield. Unless we're going to low block, and I have not seen any intention from Amorim to go low block, then Harry Maguire doesn't make sense in this instance. You want players who are mobile, that even if they do get dragged, have got the ability to recover. Harry's not that guy. He doesn't have the physical awareness around him, what's going on, for the runs that they're going to make off him. So our best three would be Yoro, De Ligt, and Martinez. In front of them, protecting, screening, and helping us play out, Mazraoui and Ugarte. Two lads who you know are going to make good decisions. They're going to look after the ball real well. They've got the great defensive instincts, and you're going to get good defensive output from them two guys. Super. This is where it starts to go tits up. Delo. I wrote Harry Amas, and then I scrubbed it out and I put Delo. We should play Harry Amas, right? I know there's no evidence that he would work there. There's no evidence that he wouldn't work there either, if you want to play them games. I just think we're sitting on something here that we've got an opportunity to make a bit of a surprise. It's a no-lose situation, even though you could really get a kick in. He's played against Mo Salah already this season. It was in pre-season, but he did fucking well against him. That's why I wrote him. And then I scrubbed him out and I put Delo, because it's going to be Delo, right? Ahmad on the right-hand side, like I've said, if you look at outside of that City game, that's when we moved him into the 10, right? He's played well as an individual, but the team has really, really suffered since he's not been there. And there's a real good link up between him and Mazraoui, but Mazraoui's not working as a right wing back and Ahmad is not working as the right side number 10, and the team is dysfunctional because of that. I like Yoro. I think his ability in the channel against someone like a Diaz needed. Love the pace. Fantastic. Let's get him in there. Mazraoui has to play somewhere. Where does he play? Alongside Ugarte in midfield. You can trust him with the ball. He can progress the ball up the pitch, and he's got the defensive instincts and physicality to be able to do something in that area. Ahmad alongside him, he can cover in that channel, and Mazraoui can cover in there behind him. He'll just naturally gravitate towards it, meaning that Ahmad can raid and attack and hopefully pin Liverpool back a little bit down that side. Mainu and Bruno off Højlund. What? Yeah, you heard. Mainu is at his best in the final third. That doesn't mean I don't think he can play in the 6. There's a time and a place for where you deploy him to get his best. When he plays in the final third, when you get Mainu on the ball in the final third, he's a fucking nightmare to play against. He's got that futsal lateral movement, brilliant control of the ball, plays with a little bit of flair in that area, and would do bits for us in that area. Bruno's going to play, and he's going to play in the 10. I could make a case that he could play deeper, in certain games. Probably not at Anfield, though. You're going to want him alongside Højlund doing a lot of the pressing. Maybe Mainu can just cover on Gravenberch and prevent that ball going into the 6. Højlund and Bruno push forward, press, see if we can get something off the back of that. The only worry with that, there's two. I've got 2 worries with this system and starting 11. One is Delo, because he's just not played well at all for Amorim as a wing-back. He just hasn't. And the pace of Mainu in that particular area. Can he take advantage of a gap, or is he going to have to play with the defence sitting in front of him and use his touch and be a little bit silkier with it? Obviously an Arne in it. That's my 11. Stop laughing. Who's going to be the key man in that? Ugarte. Because it's Ugarte. Because if he has a good game, we've got half a shot. I can't even sit here thinking that we can scratch a win. If we play that, I'd be really up for it. I don't think we're going to play that. I think we're going to go 5 at the back. I don't know what else. Either way. Let me know. Do you like that 11? It's Ugarte, right? You need the legs, you need the tenacity. The midfield battle's been a mismatch for years. This, especially if you put Mazraoui alongside him, could help. We'll need everyone to think that they're playing as Ugarte. I think we'll do as well as he plays. Put it that way. And this video is proudly sponsored by Hollywood Bets, and we have got an exciting offer for the Liverpool and Manchester United clash this weekend. It is one of the fiercest rivalries in football, and it promises fireworks. Here's what we're going with. Over 9.5 corners, over 2.5 goals. Ugarte to be carded. Mo Salah over 1.5 shots on target. He is averaging 2.2 shots on target per game. And also Amad Diallo over 0.5 shots on target. He's been effective in recent matches, averaging 1 shot on target in his last 3 starts. So I think he's going to get at least 1 shot off. And that has been boosted from 17 to 1 to 20 to 1. So if you place a tenner on that, and it wins, you will get £210 back. Just click the link in the description. If you're new to Hollywood Bets, create an account, claim one of the fantastic new customer offers there in the link below as well. Now let's talk about the second fantastic competition just in time for the new year. You've also got a chance to win an £80 voucher for any football shirt of your choice. All you got to do is place a bet on any Premier League game between the 20th of December and the 7th of January using the link in the description. You will be automatically entered into the draw. It's open to both new and existing Hollywood Bet customers, so do not miss out. Take advantage of these incredible offers from Hollywood Bets, boosted bet builders, and a chance to win that £80 shirt voucher. Do not forget to share your bet in the comments below. You've got to be over 18 to participate, and offers are subject to terms and conditions. Please gamble responsibly. Right, how do United actually beat Liverpool then? And can we beat Liverpool? Well, I'm not confident, for starters. Now, Nottingham Forest did manage to do well against them. That's like their only blip this season. Robertson has had a major drop-off, and he's probably the weak point in their defence. He's been culpable for a lot of the goals that they've conceded and the chances that they've given up. So Amad, putting him under pressure, especially if someone's looking for an underlap inside him. That's why I want him in that right wing-back spot rather than the sort of right 10 spot. Trent's always exploitable down his side. I don't think Delo is the guy to do that, to be honest with you. But there will be gaps down that side that you can try and exploit. So aim for the fullbacks. And then I think you're going to have to be brave. You know, this is a massive game for Amorim. We've not really done well post-Fergie. Well, we've just not really done well. I could leave that as an entire conversation there, couldn't I? We've not really done well. Yeah or no? Managers haven't really done well at Anfield at all. It's one-way traffic that generally ends only one way. So it'd be nice for us to go and to try and stick it on them. And if we can go and stick it on them, you know, we've gone and beat City at the Etihad. We actually put in a really good performance against Arsenal. Let's be right there, and we were unlucky against Spurs. It's just kind of fell apart the last couple of games, if we're being honest with ourselves. That might be down to availability, that might be down to selection in a couple of those games. Maybe it's not as bad as we think. Maybe it's worse. Anyway, that's my preview for the game. That's how I see it going. That's the Hollywood Bet offer for this week. If you'd like to get involved in any of that, let me know your thoughts on that, on my starting 11, because it's a bit different, in the comments below, and I'll see you after the game. and I'm sure I'll be dead happy in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.